Okay, my name is Leo Zagami. I'm 37 and this is my story. And my story goes back to the fact that because of my family tradition I joined various secret societies during the course of my life, and I found myself involved in what is known as the New World Order. The New World Order is for some people a way to implement fascism on a global scale. To do this they want to use technology, they want to use means like microchipping and also surveillance technology to control all aspects of our life. Everything is in the hands of the big brother, and this big brother is in the hands of the police, of the military police, of the intelligence, military and civil intelligence, and they are all working these days not for the governments but for the corporates who are keeping together this big business together with certain families and certain banks that have done this for a long time.
How can you prove this New World Order?
Well, my personal experience, I can talk about my personal experience. I was initiated on the 13th of April 1993 in Rome. It was a peculiar time in Italy because the P2 Lodge scandal had erupted and Freemasonry was in turmoil. Grandmaster Giuliano Di Bernardo, who is now the Grandmaster of the Academy of the Illuminati in Rome, split from the Grand Orient of Italy and was forming his own Gran Loggia Regolare d'Italia, which was the only one recognized by the United Grand Lodge of England. And I found myself initiated by Prince Alliata di Monreale, which is an Italian aristocrat who goes back a long time with his family and my family. We have a relationship of a few hundred years and even some relatives in common. And he is the head, or used to be the head because now he's deceased, the head of the Order of the Sword and the Eagle, which was a Masonic order which I came to belong to. And then he also let's say directed me to what was to become the Monte Carlo Lodge, the Committee Monte Carlo, which was already a lodge and was to become a committee, a Masonic Executive Committee in 1999 that was to have people from all the various Masonic obediences, chivalric orders, secret societies, and work in a way above all these structures as a superstructure within the structure of the Illuminati, with this base in Monte Carlo. And Ezio Giunchiglia, who was the treasurer of the P2 Lodge, had this in mind, and the P2 Lodge position as treasurer was a very important one because the P2 Lodge also was connected with the Vatican Bank and with Monsignor Marcinkus, the very big character who was also died recently and was involved with the scandal of the Vatican Bank that erupted more than 20 years ago and involved Roberto Calvi, that ended up killed in Blackfriars Bridge, under Blackfriars Bridge in London in 1982. Propaganda 2 was a lodge that was born already at the time of Garibaldi as a lodge propaganda. It was an old lodge, a lodge that existed for over 100 years, and that in the 60s came under the control of Licio Gelli. It was given to him by the Americans of the CIA, so he could control through this lodge all the VIP people in Italy who didn't want their name on the official Masonic list, but propaganda was always a reserved list, so the members were never made public. And the P2 Lodge was also, for that reason, they were members also of the Ecclesia Lodge. Ecclesia Lodge is the lodge inside the Vatican, because there is lodges of Freemasons inside the Vatican called Lodge Ecclesia. And P2 had many members of Lodge Ecclesia amongst them, and it functioned as a trade union between the Jesuits, the New World Order plans that they had, the Americans, CIA, and their own plans for the Gladio, the fighting of communism, and so in a way it functioned as a lodge that was supposed also to do propaganda. So you had journalists, you had writers, musicians, people from the world that could promote what they had, whatever was the topic they wanted to promote. Inside the lodges of the OTO, if you are in Moscow, in Russia, you have the poster of George W. Bush. You have and one of Satan next to him, and they say, "Hi Satan, hi Bush." For them, it's like they're very happy that George Bush is such an evil person. For Satanists, the core of it is to create an empire. That's why we used to have this thing, Heil Imperium. We used to go around our lodges, and people used to salute us with this Heil Imperium, because the P2 became like an imperium. It was such a big myth. Even if the lodge was destroyed by the scandal, the surviving elements and the Committee of Monte Carlo were very powerful, and the P2 still has a big name. So a lot of people are involved with it.
Mm-hmm.